How do you treat the hands that once held you when you were helpless? In a house, a frail grandfather lived with his son, daughter-in-law, and 4-year-old grandson. The old man's hands trembled constantly, and his eyesight was failing. When he ate, peas rolled off his spoon, and milk spilled onto the tablecloth. He was not trying to be a burden. He was simply navigating a fragile stage of life that we all fear. Every evening, the family sat down to eat, but it was never a happy occasion. The grandfather's trembling hands made eating a struggle. Peas rolled onto the clean floor, and soup often spilled onto the white tablecloth. The son and daughter-in-law were not patient. They were visibly irritated. The atmosphere became thick with unspoken annoyance. The old man sat in deep, silent shame, while the couple stared at him with their cold, cruel perfectionism. One evening, their irritation finally turned into cruelty. The grandfather's shaking hands failed him, and his porcelain bowl crashed to the floor, shattering into jagged pieces. The daughter-in-law scolded him sharply. The son decided that enough was enough. They set up a small, wobbly table in the dark corner of the kitchen. There, the grandfather was forced to sit all alone, eating his meals from a cheap wooden bowl so he couldn't break anything else. He would watch the family from a distance, tears glistening in his eyes. They thought they had solved a nuisance, but they didn't realize they were teaching a lesson that would haunt them. Days passed slowly in this cruel new routine. The 4-year-old grandson watched everything in total silence. He observed exactly how his parents spoke to the grandfather and how the old man ate alone in the shadows. One evening, the father noticed his young boy playing with some scrap wood on the floor. The child was deeply focused, working intently with his small hands. The father smiled down and asked gently, "What are you making there, son?" He expected a playful answer about toys or cars. The boy looks up, smiling sweetly, and delivers the line that finally shatters the parents' hearts. "Oh," he says, "I am making a little bowl for you and Mama to eat your food in when I grow up." The words strike the parents, just like a bolt of lightning. The contrast is stark and devastating. The pure innocence of the child versus the absolute horror of the reality he is preparing for them. The room goes suddenly deadly silent. The parents look at each other, the heavy weight of their own cruel actions finally crashing down on them. They are struck speechless by the simple mirror he has held up. No words were spoken, but the message was received loud and clear. You reap exactly what you sow. The parents suddenly realized they were modeling their own future isolation. That cheap wooden bowl wasn't just a container for the grandfather's food. It was a mirror reflecting their own lonely future. They broke down in tears, finally realizing that dignity is not something you earn. It is something you must give. The silence in the room screamed the truth they had tried to ignore. That very evening, the husband took his father's hand and gently led him back to the family table where he belonged. For the remainder of his days, the grandfather ate with them. If food was spilled or a fork dropped, no one said a single harsh word. The anxiety was replaced by deep love and patience. The house was no longer cold. It was warm with forgiveness and true respect. Love your parents deeply. While we are busy growing up, we often forget they are growing old. If this touched your heart, please like, share this with your family, and subscribe for more daily inspiration.